Well, happy Monday, guys. What I'm going to do here is walk us through the week. Remember, extremely important that you watch the whole video. If you try some things and you run into problems or have questions, please make sure you ask either through a Schoology message or come to that daily Zoom. Okay, so we are going to jump back into this Getting to Know You folder. There are two more activities. Both of them are due by the end of the week. The discussion you're going to be working on, hopefully, and contributing to every day. This nerd alert is something that you can, start and stop and work at your own pace. So I'm going to go through the nerd alert because it's a little bit more simplistic. This one is in this folder because I want to get to know a little bit about your interests in science specifically. Okay. So what you're going to do here is you are going to share a topic of science or a subtopic of science that you are interested in, that you like, that you want to learn more about, that you've always been curious about. Lots of different ways to go about this activity. Okay. I need you to give me the name of the topic. It could be super broad like biology, or it could be super specific like neurology or something like that. From there, you're going to talk about, why do you get, how did you get interested in this topic? What makes it so interesting? Why do you like it? Give me things that you've already learned about that particular topic, questions that you'd like to learn more about, and then why other people should have an interest or at least know a little bit about that particular science topic. Okay, so unlike the what makes you tick, I need you to discuss all of these bullet points. Okay. However, similar to what makes you tick, I'm going to let you choose how you present your information to me. Okay. Here's my challenge though. Whatever you did for the what makes you tick, don't do that again. Pick something different, try something different. I think sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zone a little bit and try something else and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But there are lots of ways to present the information. So please try to do something different than what you did for what makes you tick. Okay. Now here's the thing. I completely get that some of you don't like science, and that's perfectly okay. And you're taking honor science because it's going to help you down the road for college and stuff like that, but you don't necessarily like science. So instead of sharing in a topic that you're interested in, I'd like you to answer these questions. Okay, so what about science do you not like that turns you off? Where, if you can think of a time where, you started to lose interest in science. In the past, were there teachers or activities or things about science class that helped you learn it a little bit better, even though you didn't like it? And then the last one there is, if science has been a struggle, what could I do to help make it a little bit easier? Okay, so lots of options, whether you like science or you don't. Down here at the bottom, there's a couple of examples. Mine is here. I typed it up. The first time I did a video, didn't feel like making another one, so I typed mine up. And then you can also see Mr. Mahadi. He's the other honors or science teacher. You can kind of see what he did for his. Okay, so that is the nerd alert. Okay, going back to the folder, the next thing here is the science news discussion. Okay, and this is going to be something a little bit different than the purpose of education. I want you to post often. Okay, this is not a one post and you're done. Okay, the point of this is to start you to get to think through information that you're getting. Okay, you can open up the news app on your iPad and go to the science section, and there's just tons of stuff in there. But I don't necessarily think that what they present to you is scientific. What you're reading is something from a journalist. And my question, and what I want you to think about, is how many different perspectives did it take to get through, and how many people's biases did it take to get through to get to you as you're reading that science article. Okay, so here's the process. What we're going to do on Monday in Schoology. Not only will this post be there, this update, but I'm also going to do a second update that has a couple of different science articles that we're going to choose from as a class. I want you to kind of look through them briefly, see which one you'd want to read and do this activity on. And then I'm going to have that second post be a poll. So I want you to vote for the article that you want. I'm going to give you all of Monday, and that's it. Okay, so at the end of the day, Monday, I will see where the votes are, and I will tell you as a class what article we're going to be reading. Okay, classes might be different. My first hour might have one article, and my second hour might have a completely different one. Okay, it just depends on how you guys vote. Okay, once you know what article we're going to be reading and posting on, discussing about, you then are going to read the article. Okay, and as you read it, I want you to highlight definitions, if there are any. I want you to underline key ideas and details, and then anywhere where you either don't understand what they're saying or you have a question about, put a question mark. So you might need to take the article, throw it into Notability to do those three things. Okay, so this is individual. You're reading all by yourself. The next part, also individual. Okay, what I want you to do is, after you're done reading it and highlighting, underlining, putting question marks, is do some of these things. Okay, you don't have to do them all. You worked with the definitions. Okay, if there are words in there that you don't know, it's not part of your vocabulary, I want you to figure out what those words are, or figure out some definitions of those new words. Okay, another option would be to Google search the author of the article and see what he or she is all about. Do they have a major in science, or do they just have a major in journalism? What makes them an expert on that particular topic? Usually in these scientific articles, there are scientists that are quoted. Go Google search those people and see what makes them an expert. Sometimes the people that they interview aren't necessarily an expert on that particular topic. They're in the field, but not necessarily there. Okay. Learn a little bit more of some of those key ideas. Google search or use some of the resources in the green folder in Schoology, and then write down a list of questions that you've got. Okay, I want you to do some of these either on paper, on your iPad. You need to keep this information somewhere because you're going to need it for the next part. Okay, so reading is by yourself, this processing is by yourself. From there, then, you're going to actively participate in the Schoology discussion. Again, you do some of these. You do not have to do all of them. But post a summary of the key ideas. It can be a paragraph, it can be a list, doesn't really matter to me, but what did you think were the main ideas? If you did do a little bit of extra research, share what you've learned. Ask some of those questions about the article. Maybe you have similar questions or new questions compared to other people. This one here is extremely important. I want you to respond to your classmates. Okay, this is not hitting the like button. Okay, I want you to hit reply, and I want you to respectfully converse with your classmates about this particular article and the things that you found. Okay, if you find some awesome extra information, share those links. Okay, and then we can also kind of bring that into the discussion as well. Okay, so that is the science news discussion. Those are the two things for the week. Okay, if you have any questions, you run into any problems, or need some clarification, let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.